Houston, also known by her nickname the Galloping Ghost of the Java Coast, is an elite rarity heavy cruiser from the Eagle Union and is part of the Northampton class of heavy cruisers. Houston is available from both heavy and special construction at a timer of 1 hour and 40 minutes, the Medal of Honor requisition, and from drops on stages 3-1, 3-4, 10-1, 11-1, and 15-4. Houston was launched on the 7th of September 1929, commissioned on the 17th of June 1930, reclassified to a heavy cruiser on the 1st of July 1931, and was sunk in the Battle of Sunda Strait on the 1st of March 1942. Houston did the usual tasks an American heavy cruiser did in the Second World War. Here are her more interesting exploits. Carried President FDR from Annapolis, Maryland, through the Caribbean to Portland, Oregon by way of Hawaii in 1934. FDR boarded Houston again for a vacation cruise from Seattle, Washington to Cedros Island, Magdalena Bay, Cocos Island, and Charleston, South Carolina. Then for the opening of the Golden Gate Bridge and a fleet review in 1938. Leaving for a 24-day cruise to fish in the Galapagos. Carried Assistant Secretary of the Navy Henry L. Roosevelt on a tour of the Hawaiian Islands in 1935. Became the flagship of Rear Admiral Claude C. Block. Carried FDR and Chief of Naval Operations Admiral William D. Leahy for Fleet Problem XX, or 20. Became the flagship of Admiral Thomas C. Hart, commander of the Asiatic Fleet. Shot down 4 Japanese planes in the Battle of Bali Sea, but took a hit to her No. 3 turret, disabling it. While escorting a convoy to Timor, she shot down 7 of 44 planes attacking the convoy. During the Battle of Sunda Strait, Houston and HMAS Perth were retreating from the Battle of Java Sea, in which HMS Jupiter, HMS Electra, and HNLMS Courtenier were sunk. Thinking Sunda Strait was free of the enemy, they decided to take the strait to meet up with HNLMS Everston. However, a large Japanese force had assembled in Bantam Bay. IJN Fubuki launched 9 torpedoes, all of which were dodged, with Perth later being hit by 4 torpedoes and short-range gunfire at 12:25 a.m. on the 1st of March. Houston was struck by a torpedo shortly after midnight and hit 3 different destroyers before being hit by 3 torpedoes in quick succession. The Japanese closed the distance and machine-gunned the decks, with Houston later rolling over and sinking. 368 survived of the 1,061 men on board. The fate of Houston was not fully known for 9 months, and her story untold until her crew were liberated from POW camps. 1,000 naval recruits were sworn in downtown Houston on the 30th of May 1942, and light cruiser USS Vicksburg of the Cleveland class of light cruiser was renamed to the Houston. Captain Albert H. Rooks was awarded the Medal of Honor posthumously for his actions, with Chaplain George S. Rents being awarded the Navy Cross, the only Navy chaplain to be so honored, for giving a younger sailor his life jacket. In her character art drawn by Realm BW, Houston has the exact same outfit as Northampton. Fun fact, the Northampton-class shipgirls are dressed so scantily because they were originally light cruisers. So their clothing is representative of how they are lightly armored, but heavy cruisers. She wears a black choker, 2 black devil horns on the side of her head, a white bikini top with cross straps, a star on the left side of her chest and the straps, and a blue stripe on the right side of her chest, white short shorts with black straps on her hips, black armbands on her upper arms, red and white elbow gloves, a US Navy logo on her upper right thigh, and red and white knee-high boots. Her rigging is very similar to Northampton's. Houston's rigging is attached to her lower back, with 2 armatures flanking her sides. 2 quad-barreled AA guns are directly behind her, with 2 triple-barrel naval cannons to her left and 1 triple-barrel naval cannon and a quad-barrel AA gun to her right. The topmost naval cannon on her left having blue stripes and a 03 on top. Hulls beneath the guns, a ship hull with USN and a devil on it, and an AA gun in her right hand, finger off the trigger. In her voice lines, voiced by Aya Yokota, Houston is very high energy.
Hi! ノーザンプトン5番艦ヒューストンだよ。バターン湾の戦いで 獣王増援部隊に単独で挑んだよ。今日から指揮官が遊んでくれるんだよね。やっほー。はーい。ノーザンプトン5番艦ヒューストンよ。止水の戦いやバタビア沖海戦で獣王の増援小隊に一人で立ち向かって大統領から褒美のメダルをもらったの。これ私の自慢よ。ヒューストン大中中速度突破中。今日もまた指揮官が遊んでくれる。やっほー。指揮官あなた宛てのメールよ。わーい、褒めて褒めて。あの時の止水はすっごく賑やかだったんだよ。指揮官あそぼう。じゃじゃーん。今日も元気いっぱい出発だ。
At level 125 with max affinity and enhancements, Houston has 3,525 HP, 250 firepower, 215 AA, 174 reload, 55 evasion, light armor, 26 speed, 125 accuracy, 49 luck, and consumes 11 oil. Houston has one skill that is upgraded when she has her unique augment module, Houston's Liftoff, and an AoA, with the skill focusing on boosting her own evasion. Houston's first skill, Ghost of Java Coast, is upgraded to Ghost of Java Coast Plus when she has Houston's Liftoff equipped as her augment module. When Houston fires her main guns, there is a 20% chance to buff her own evasion by plus 100% for 15 seconds. If this skill doesn't activate 4 times, she launches a special barrage. This buffs her evasion to 110 without equipment. Her AoA looks like this, being procced every 8 times her main gun is fired. It's alright for hitting a few enemies at a time by staying still, but probably won't hit much if you move around too much. The recommended equipment for Houston is the prototype triple 203mm SKC MGM for the best AP heavy cruiser gun, the twin 100mm Type 98 Kai for the best general use auxiliary DD gun for breaking shields quickly, the twin 57mm L60 Bofors for the best general use AA gun, the repair toolkit for more survivability and passive healing, the high perf steering gear for a buff to evasion, and her unique augment module, Houston's Liftoff, which buffs her skill, Ghost of Java Coast, and, when the battle starts, has her deploy a shield that lasts until the end of battle and can block up to 6 shells, with Houston gaining plus 5% evasion if the shields are destroyed until the battle ends. This buffs her evasion to 58, not considering other equipment or her skill. Houston is similar to her big sis Northampton in terms of pros and cons, though she is better than Northampton. Beginning with the pros, Houston has decent damage with her main gun mount +1, with her skill not only doubling her evasion for a decent amount of time, but, if you have Houston's Liftoff equipped, furthers her offensive capabilities by giving her a special barrage, which will probably proc a bit more often because of her main gun mount +1, as well as giving her a 6 block count shield that gives her an evasion boost when broken, and lasts until the end of battle. The cons come from the skill's proc rate, at a 1 in 5 chance for proccing whenever she fires her main guns, which, granted, can sort of be circumvented by having someone boost her reload, upping her own DPS by having a main gun with high reload speed, her having main gun mount +1, or by giving her an autoloader or 2. But her evasion buff is only a temporary fix for a low base evasion, not to mention her small 5% boost when her shield breaks, which doesn't make much of a difference. Overall, Houston is a decent addition for either a tank or off-tank position in an early game fleet, with her service life being extended if you decide to equip her with that unique augment module. But sooner or later, you'll need a better evasion or HP/armor tank, and you'll probably just cast Houston to the wayside. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates, and please check out my other Arc Knights and Girls Frontline videos as well.